All right, time for some real talk as a caregiver. I spent decades looking after my family, and I can tell you a smartwatch isn't my answer in caregiving. So I don't think we need another smartwatch. What we need is better apps that support us. Just like in hospitals that they have this constant alerts and systems that they can track your family members, a patient's well-being. We should have that at home. And so while the world is on this race to build the next smartwatch, better smartwatch, that's great for those of us who are building on having better health. We want to get fitter, we want to get stronger. For family members like ours and like yours and mine who are struggling with chronic conditions, all they really want is to not get worse. They want more of the same. And a smartwatch doesn't really give them those signals. And neither does it give us those signals. What do I mean? If they miss their medication, we need to be aware. If they're not drinking water, we need to be aware. And the smartwatches don't always have that signaling or the right kind of signaling that we need. If they're having a bad day, how do we get notified? How is it able to get them to provide qualitative rather than quantitative responses? And I think like this is the biggest gap right now with smartwatches. So that's why I'm building this, because I want a system that gives me insightful, meaningful information that my family member is not doing well. And so I can intervene early. I can respond quicker rather than wait for something to happen and by that time things are really bad. I want to avoid all of those complexities. So, for instance, over time in looking after my parents, I've learned to look out for the signals of pneumonia. My mom, especially, she was on a feeding tube. So, that meant that we needed to be aware of when there was a bit of reflux or maybe some of it got into her lungs, and just need to look out for the signals for pneumonia. Because if the pneumonia has progressed, it would mean a longer hospitalization. I wanted to completely avoid that. So how do we create these processes that can help us to know something like that? So if you as a caregiver you're thinking about using smartwatches to monitor your family's health, I'm not saying don't do that. Give it a think. Like, what is it that you really need these smartwatches to do? And maybe that's beyond their current capacity. What we really need are the apps, and that's what we're building this for.